Well, greetings to everybody at home. We are here at the Kariba Lake. Oh, God. Okay, and greetings to everybody. We are here at Kariba Bush Lake, at the Kariba Lake, obviously, of course, in Zambia. We've been traveling now for just more than a week, coming through Botswana, Namibia, the previous trip obviously, spent a couple of days in Livingstone in the southern part of Zambia, and today we arrived here at Kariba Bush Club. Beautiful place, beautiful campsite, wild animals next to the tent.
Warthogs
Warthogs.
around.
Rooibok, hoor, lekker Impala, rooibok. And a couple of
humble deers.
Humble deers.
Abiding with us.
Well, our purpose of this quick video is to just give you some feedback of our journey and what we have done. So I think I will hand over to some of my colleagues to give you a little bit of their personal experiences and what they've seen and what they've done and what we have learned up until now.
Well, the first couple of days in Okabanga Delta was brilliant. The fishing was great. Just the time on the lake was on the river, the delta, the little rivers, the intermingling of waters coming here and there.
He caught a tiger. We've got it on video.
I caught a tiger and a couple of barbel. And yeah, it was just an amazing little place to be. The campsite was brilliant, and it was a great place to escape. And I think it was just a great way to start the journey, just to sit down and relax there for a couple of days while we fished.
Stephen had a couple of his buddies coming over with their parents, two of his buddies and their dad. So it was great just helping him also, I think, just to get into the flow of the journey.
I think it was, all in all, the first part was a good way to introduce some people to the beauty of Africa as well. And that's part of the trip that we also want to do, is we want to show people that Africa is not a dark continent, but actually a place where you can have holiday.
It's a lovely place.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So when we arrived in Livingstone, we met up with Pastor Albert.
In the middle of a heat wave.
In the middle of the heat wave, obviously. Pastor Fred, I apologize. And so we had an opportunity to meet with some of his younger leaders and some of the younger leaders of the region. And it was good to hear just what the Lord is doing among them as well.
Yeah, they lifted 5 challenges that they perceive from the youth, and I think the biggest, because of the nature of Livingstone, is it's a lot of tourists that come there, so it's not always the cleanest people. I don't know what to call it. Yeah. Moral, stable people. So prostitution is a big problem in Livingstone, which leads to young pregnancies and all those kind of stuff.
I was shocked when I heard that some of the girls are becoming prostitutes from the age of around 13, and young boys are experimenting from around the age of 9.
And if you look at the majority of Livingstone is under the age of 35.
Yeah, so, almost 80% they said.
And they're coming from all over as well for the opportunities.
Yeah.
The opportunities. Yeah.
But I also think that in spite of that, there's good movement.
Yeah.
The young people are healthy spiritually, I think.
Yeah.
If I listen to what some of the reports were, the guys are saying that there's a lot of activities, a lot of things taking place. There's almost on a weekly basis, or let's say at least on a monthly basis, there's a new church planted. And but we had a discussion about that because I remember after we left the meeting with them, there was a thought that came to you because of the people saying, we need to do more.
Yeah. It was one of the youth leaders. They were trying and almost overexerting themselves to think of activities that they can give to the children, and I just sensed the feeling that they are trying to be everything for the kids. And being the church, you can't do everything; it's impossible. And because of that, we almost saw them as being overworked to think of ideas to give to the children. It brings the question on where's the businessman that starts places for the young people to care, or where are they? Why are they not helping the church? It's almost like they are tendering out the things to the church. Yeah.
I think the one guy also mentioned, he said there's a desperate need for mentorship.
Yeah. No, I mean, that was part of the 5 challenges that they said they perceive.
There was also the mention of need for platforms, Christian platforms as well, for people to express themselves, for people to hang out, where they're saying places where Christians can hang out together and feel free to express themselves, because 90% of the activities are around the nightclubs and those kind of things. So it's a really bit of a party town for all the locals, Livingstone. So they're looking for platforms for the younger guys to kind of get away from all of that as well.
I think Livingstone, it's a very strategic place. There's, as already mentioned, a lot of tourism activities. People are flooding from everywhere to go to Livingstone, to go and see just the beauty. I mean, we were sitting at the waterfront lodge, and right across the Zambezi River we could see the elephants moving up and down, and eventually we even saw some of the elephants crossing. So it's a beautiful place, and as I said, a lot of people are flocking to Livingstone, and that certainly has some form of an impact on young people.
It's the gate to Zambia. Yeah.
It is a gateway to Zambia. It's a gateway to, I think, to a lot of the countries in the region. Just across the bridge you have Victoria Falls, which is the same, I think, as Livingstone, but just on the Zimbabwean side. So yeah, I think there's huge potential, but as mentioned from the guys, you know, they need people to come and help and equip, not just come and do their own things. I think one of the challenges that they do face is there's a lot of people, a lot of ministries from around the world, because of the beauty. They want to go and establish their own ministries in Livingstone instead of getting behind the existing ministries, strengthening and empowering them so that they can reach out and empower their own communities.
No, I think because of the openness of the Zambians there, it's almost become a ministry dumping site for people. Yeah.
But it's also, there's the other side of it as well, where the leaders actually spoke of the networking and the ability to connect between local ministries, how they like to work with each other, how there's this constant partnership working between different community pastors, and how they connect to take on different projects or run certain events and activities, which is a great positive, because if you can come in as an outside ministry and connect with that existing platform, those existing fraternals, you could catalyze great change within their community. So there is that double side of it, where the outside ministries want to come in and start their own projects, but the local ministries want to work with each other.
I remember Pastor Fred also mentioned, you know, that although there are hundreds, I think he said almost 200 different types of ministries, denominations just in the Livingstone region,
with multiple churches.
With multiple churches each, it's only occasional events that actually bring them together. Then they will do something together, but not necessarily everybody, but at least some of them will come together. But after the event, everyone just continues and do their own thing. It almost, you know, leaves you with that question: what is a sustainable thing that community can do together to communicate the unified body of Christ? And I think often we as Westerners and outsiders, when we come in with good intentions, but often we are the reason for breaking up exactly that. Because we just want to do our own thing instead of allowing them and say, listen, tell us what you're about to do, and is there something I can do? And even if the guy says no, I need to be mature enough to say, okay, let's move on, and allow them to do what they feel God is leading them to do.
Because as they said, there's an overemphasis on evangelism in the communities. There isn't a lot of discipleship happening. So there's a lot of these external ministries coming in, having crusades and events in Livingstone, which is a beautiful place, and then just leaving the local ministries, and not connecting properly with the local ministries, and just trying to leave them to try to pick up the pieces. But there isn't enough partnership between those two.
But I think all in all, if you look back and, you know, speaking to the people, I think they are very positive about the youth there, and I think the youth are already moving, and God is working through them there, and I think we left there with a positive feeling at the end of the day.
Well, I think I left there, and a closing statement from my side is that I think we left there with a lot of food for thought, a lot that we can learn and take from there. We will try and document as much as we can, and then obviously as we will meet with the other leaders as we continue to travel, and it will help us to get an overall feel. But I think from my side, and before I give you guys each a few seconds to do your closing statement, I think there's a lot of hope. Africa is a young continent. We're 67% under the age of 25, and almost 80% of the people living in the Livingstone region under the age of 35. It just tells us that there's a lot that needs to be done to see Africa being changed, and we cannot just focus on people groups per se. We need to see the young people as an entire people group. In fact, it's an entire continent of people. Closing statements.
Can't really add too much to that,
It's well closed.
Well closed.
I think sorry, go.
Carry on.
I think we're looking forward to the next one and see if we can almost compare the both with each other, because this is very rural and the last one was quite secular with the tourist area. So yeah, I'm looking forward to comparing the stuff. Yeah.
I think it's just a great tone to start off the trip.
Yeah.
It was a small group we had with the meetings. It wasn't a massive group, but it was just a nice way to get a feel of what's to come and get to kind of adjust and start to think, okay, how do we start to view this continent? How do we start to share these stories, and how do we start to actually create a positive impact while we're traveling as well? And looking forward to the rest of it.
Cool.
Good. We're running over time. We said 10 minutes max. We're on 11:32. So from our side, guys, thank you so much. Keep following us. Followthebus.org is a website. From there you can also check the live Periscope sessions and check the Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and send us your feedback. Thank you.
Bye.
Peace out.